wonder if, from the perspective of some in the administration, I think Dick Cheney, Karl Rove was on Fox News talking about this last night, saying it's a danger to tell Congress stuff because they leak it. I wonder if you could flip that around and give the argument back as to why they need to tell Congress. What is the value inherent in letting members of Congress know about things that are going on?
Well, two things about that. First of all, Congress does not very, leaks come far, far, far more often from the administration than they do from Congress. Okay? So if the issue is we can't tell anyone because they might leak it, well then you better not do it at all because you're going to have to tell somebody and somebody's going to leak it. Vastly more amounts of information about secret programs have come out of the administration than they have come out of Congress. The why that they tell us is because of the checks and balances. That basically we have oversight responsibility for the intelligence community. If the CIA or anybody in the intelligence community winds up doing something that is wrong, illegal, or bad policy, Congress is in part responsible for that. We set policy and we are responsible for oversight. We cannot exercise that oversight policy, which is right there in the original CIA, the original statute that created the CIA, if we don't know what they're doing. So the proper process, and it has happened, spoke with Norm Dix about this, he was on the Intel Committee, I think back in the 80s and the early 90s maybe, and he said, you know, I think he was there when Bill Casey was CIA director, and he said with some frequency the CIA would come over and say, you know, we've got this, we're going to do this, that, and the other thing, and the committee would go, that's insane, you can't do that, send a letter to them, and they'd actually stop, and they would not do it. But at a minimum, it gives Congress a chance to be on record saying we do not support this policy. So that as the policies go forward, the other piece of it is, if we don't say we don't support it, then everyone in the intelligence community, again, I'm into double negative land here, apologize for that, but the point is then they would know that they do have the support of Congress. It's our responsibility, and as we learned with Speaker Pelosi, if something happens, Congress will certainly be held accountable for it, all right? They will say, well, you were briefed and you didn't say anything, you didn't do anything. So if we're not briefed, or we're not briefed fully and in a timely manner, then we're being held responsible for things we didn't know about. It's the way the process is supposed to work. If they brief us on something and we don't like it, the proper process is to let them know that formally. Jane Harman has on a couple of occasions sent letters saying, got your brief, don't think you should do this, please don't, basically. And all that's secret, it's not sent out in public. And sometimes the CIA or other intelligence agencies say, we appreciate your input, we're doing it anyway. And to a certain extent that's their privilege, but at least then we have exercised our oversight and we have been made informed about it.